Hello Internet, I'm the Disney Brain and these are my initial thoughts, this time on the brand new Power Rangers season, Ninja Steel. By now, I shouldn't have to tell anyone about my fandom for the franchise, so for the most part, I'm always going to enjoy Ranger seasons. But just how good is this new one shaping up to be? Well, let's discuss. Spoiler warning now, you all know the drill. With all that said, let's dive into the power and discuss Ninja Steel. As has become the standard with Neo Saban openings, we're treated to some opening expositional narration. How exhilarating. So, we're introduced to a ninja dad and his two sons, Aiden and Brody. Long story short, a bunch of monsters, including our big bad for the series Galvanax, takes a spirit crystal that contains the 6 Power Ninja throwing stars, kills Daddy Ninja, and kidnaps Brody. Then, we fast forward to 10 years later, where Brody, otherwise known as the most well-bathed, fed, and nourished prisoner of all time, is talking with comrades Redbot and Mick. Already, I see this entire situation, including this trio's ridiculously easy escape, as a missed opportunity, but we'll get there. But let's talk about the theme song for a second. Yeah, it ain't good, and maybe it'll grow on me over time, but even the laziest season of all time put together a competent and high energy theme song. This one, not so much. So, after the not so great escape, Galvanax enlists the assistance of one of Overdrive's Fear Cats to get the Spirit Crystal back, but it's even funnier knowing he had to beat RPM's own Venjix for the honor. Really, Ninja Steel? Really? You might as well have thrown King Mondo into the backdrop while you're at it. Anyways, we get a few introductions to the other Rangers, including Yoshi's brother Peter taking the reins as the new Blue Ranger Preston. I think it's pretty cool that real-life brothers get to have that passing of the torch moment, but some vocal similarities are present here with Peter, so it might get somewhat distracting listening to him and thinking of Coda but smaller. In any case, he's a magician for reasons, and we also meet Sarah, the Pink Ranger, alongside some very brief scenes from Rangers to become empowered in later episodes. Although I have to say, the civilian scenes we get here are pretty flat. It's just the first episode, but even still, it's worrying thinking back on how Megaforce had a similar kind of start and ended up having only one genuinely good Ranger characterization. At the very least, the way these characters play off each other should improve over time because that wasn't good here either. So the trio of Rangers fight the Fear Cat with their newfound powers and are surprisingly lax about their new responsibility. None of them woke up today expecting to become the Earth's defenders, nor are any of them trained for this, and yet, they not only take it in stride, but barely hesitate. Another missed opportunity for some effective character development. And then the episode ends with a to be continued, which will probably signal the empowerment of the other 2 Rangers in episode 2, before probably Aiden himself becomes a 6th Ranger later on. And that's the Ninja Steel premiere, an opening episode that proves to be lackluster on several fronts. Firstly, why does Brody, a space prisoner, act exactly like he probably would if he was raised normally on Earth? He doesn't exactly act like a guy who's been held against his will for 10 years. Heck, the villains barely monitor him and never have a clue about what to do with him after they capture him. Lightspeed Rescue gave us the perfect example of how to handle a similar story thread with the Ryan Mitchell saga, a ranger that was raised by evil and is significantly stronger than any of the others. But here, it's like the single most traumatic event in his life affected him in no discernible way. Even his whole forced lone wolf mentality near the end is quickly upended by 2 people he's never even met before. The Magna Defender is rolling in his grave. Guys, we're 23 minutes into this new season, and the most important Ranger's flippant characterization is already bordering on Nick levels of bad. Both Sarah and Preston seem slightly better, but we'll only really see what potential they have through their focus episodes, an area the Neo Saban seasons have been notoriously bad at handling, save for the incredible way they developed Noah and Megaforce. But it is nice to have Kelson Henderson back, who's lended his talents to many past Ranger seasons, albeit to mixed results. Galvanax likely won't be an interesting villain. He'll be just another Xandrid, Emperor Grum, those forgettable insect guys from Megaforce, take your pick. And I do think using suit actors for main villains does lend itself to inferior presentations of evil, with Lord Zed's chilling design being the best exception to that. But generally, it's always been more captivating to watch a villain that is either human or is human enough in Rancic's case. Those villains tend to come with a more relatable and interesting backstory that, when done properly, can really elevate the entire series. And even Dino Charge ended up doing something pretty inventive with the way Heckle resolves as a character, but unfortunately, Ninja Steel is set up to be pretty plain on the evil side of things. All in all, this premiere was uneven at best and severely lacking at worst. It's only the first episode, so knowing that, and being someone who wants this season to succeed, I'm tempted to go easier on it. But premieres are supposed to really get you into a show, make you feel like you want to, need to know where it goes. Lost Galaxy, RPM, Time Force, amongst others, all had initial episodes that work really well and do well to convey the characters and set the tone. But here, it feels like a lot of box checking and not a lot of passion. Introduce the main ranger, check. Introduce the other rangers, check. Make the villain mad enough to send down one of his cronies to give the newly formed team someone to fight, check and check. It all strikes me as static and simple, like the director just told the actors to do this thing and say this thing, and they did it and said it, but didn't feel it. And for me, that's the most disappointing part. I don't expect writing akin to classic Shakespearean literature, but at least the delivery has to be there on the part of the actors. Many Rangers have given us that. It's not exactly rare, but it is becoming increasingly less common in this current Ranger era, to say nothing of the fact that Saban can't even balance out the casting culture by giving us a few teams of professionals instead of always teenagers. They say variety is the spice of life, but so far, Ninja Steel looks like more of the same, and that's not even factoring in the other better season of Ranger Ninjas. There's so much they could have done here, beyond even the points I brought up, that could have made this a legitimately great opening episode. It's Power Rangers. People are going to watch it. You're allowed to take a few risks to make the show better. In fact, you've already proven you can do just that. And to be honest, it's kind of sad how Disney has been buying up properties left and right and making great finished products, but they let go of Power Rangers at its peak, and now it's struggling as a direct result. And maybe this show will improve over time. In fact, I hope by the time the series finale rolls around, I end up being wrong, and Ninja Steel proves to be a season of substance. But right now, I'm thinking about how Saban has repossessed the Ranger brand for about 6 years now, and has only managed one season of actual merit. But what did you think of the premiere? Leave your thoughts, reactions, and predictions down below. And of course, thanks for watching.